how do I manage social anxiety when it comes to stepping onto the mat? And I'm not sure exactly what George means by this here, but I'm going to try to answer the question as best that I can. And my assumption here is that there is a certain level of pressure, there's certain level of anxiety that takes place when you step onto the mat, and this could be in-house the tournament. I'm sorry, in-house mat or open mat or class. I hope that's not the case, and we'll talk about that in a second. Or perhaps visiting another academy or even a tournament scenario where that anxiety would be much higher. First things first, let's talk about your own academy. In my mind, there shouldn't be much of anxiety associated with you when you're stepping at on your own mat, when you're stepping onto your own academy. Short of this being your first day, first week, in which I think that anxiety might be there because we are trying something brand new and we don't know what is happening. But after that week 2 or 3, I do believe that anxiety would be much lower, and we are already getting used to slowly to the positions and the situations that we have to be dealing with, and we are starting to explore jiu-jitsu. If you continue having high anxiety about being on a mat and training jiu-jitsu, you must talk to your instructors. You must immediately engage with them, because in my opinion, if the anxiety continues, likely you will actually depart and you will stop training. Now, there might be some very simple things that perhaps trigger or bother you during that time. And again, I am not any type of professional who deals with anxiety. This is just my perspective on training jiu-jitsu. So please keep that in mind. But I would definitely engage with your instructors. I would definitely engage with somebody who is there, maybe with staff at the academy. They can provide you with some tips, maybe perhaps structure that environment in such a way where it's more pleasant. I would assume that anxiety equals some friction points, whether it's your training partners or very difficult classes, or you're not fitting in, whatever the case might be. All these points will create some obstacles and make it more difficult to train. The bottom line is we can enjoy training when we are in a point of anxiety. Now, once we start stepping into environments like competition or visiting other places or doing open mats or in-house tournaments, now see, those events are designed to put pressure on us as competitors and perform under this certain amount of stress, and managing those might be very difficult. And again, this is the point where I would engage with your coaches, with your instructors, with your professors, and get their advice. Many instructors, many professors have competed either recently or in their younger times, and they definitely can give you some perspective on how to deal with the anxiety associated with this. Again, this is a situation when we are not at our own academy. When we are, I would not imagine that stress being this high. End of the day, we want to enjoy jiu-jitsu. Jiu-jitsu is fun. It should be fun. And if you're not enjoying it, we are not working actively towards you achieving your goals and towards you getting better and progressively embracing the jiu-jitsu lifestyle. So a few things. One, kind of summarizing this all together. One, engage with your professors. If that anxiety is high, I'm positive that they can provide you with some points of reflection, perhaps some homework, pair you up with somebody who can help you in a much greater way. And again, if you are looking at points of competition where the anxiety definitely will be much higher, people are looking at you often in thousands, and perhaps your family, if that's the case, I would encourage you to actually find Gustavo Dantas. He has a phenomenal podcast, and oftentimes he does talk about the anxiety associated with competition. And it's so interesting to listen to somebody who is so successful in his professional life on and off the mat, and sharing some of these experiences, how to overcome the points of friction, and how to manage our mind, how to really enjoy the competition and not necessarily worry about the stress that might come with it and might follow us as we go through these difficult and oftentimes, reaching for the goals. They are not so close. I mean, those are hard things. Competition, stepping into a competition is often difficult, but it should be enjoyable. It should not be as stressful as what I'm envisioning from this question. So, George, I hope this answers your question. If you want to dig deeper on this, you, George, particularly, or anybody who's listening to this right now, reach out to me directly. I'm happy to connect you with Gustavo Dantas. I'm happy to give you my perspective, and I'm hoping that we can figure this out so the jiu-jitsu is by far more enjoyable for you and everybody around you. Keep on training. Peace.